Today's Federal Executive Council meeting is not yet concluded. Council meeting will continue tomorrow.
11th meeting of Federal Executive Council continues Tuesday as 2 commissioners join board of National Population Commission.
Leading, believing, and working hard.
President Tinubu champions We Are Equal campaign towards boosting gender equality aspirations. And on global scene, European Union aims to achieve emission-free heavy-duty vehicles by 2040. Hello and thank you for joining us on the Network News on NTA. I'm Najat Atutijani. Joining me tonight from Lagos is Michael Olale, and Musa Abubakar is in Abuja with business news. We begin with energy commitments, and in line with the commitment to ensure energy security, drive utility and cut high fuel costs, President Bola Tinubu has directed the mandatory procurement of compressed natural gas-powered vehicles by all government ministries, departments and agencies. The President's directive is also in line with furtherance of Nigeria's effort to transition to cleaner energy, as CNG-enabled vehicles have been adjudged to produce lower emissions even as they present a more affordable alternative for Nigerian energy consumers. Addressing members of the Federal Executive Council at the State House on Monday, President Tinubu affirmed no turning back in the energy reforms initiated by his administration. In his words, quote, "This nation will not progress if we continue to dance on the same spot," end of quote. The President further directed the rejection of all memos brought by members of FEC seeking the purchase of traditional petrol-dependent vehicles, tasking the affected members of the Council to go back and diligently seek value-driven procurement of CNG-compliant vehicles. The President says he remains committed to effectively harnessing the nation's gas potential, alleviating the burden of high transportation costs on the masses, while enhancing the standard of living of all Nigerians. The 11th meeting of the Federal Executive Council this Monday has been adjourned to continue tomorrow, Tuesday, May 14. The meeting, chaired by President Bola Tinubu, which lasted more than 4 hours, was adjourned due to the large number of memos before the Council, which needed to be thoroughly considered. State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab reports that before the commencement of the meeting, the President swore in 2 new commissioners to represent Ogun and Osun states on the board of the National Population Commission, NPC. The Council also observed a minute's silence for the deceased former Council members who passed on recently. The departed are former Minister of Education, Professor Fabian Osuji, under the Obasanjo administration, and Professor Obonaya Onu, who served as Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation in the immediate past administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. After the longest meeting so far under the administration, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, announced the continuation on Tuesday.
Council meeting will continue tomorrow. Therefore, there will be no press briefing today. A lot of far-reaching decisions are being taken, and the conclusions will be made available to you tomorrow.
In a major leap forward for women in Africa and their shared aspiration for gender equity following the launch of the We Are Equal campaign of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, President Bola Tinubu, while formally launching the #WeAreEqual campaign in Abuja, says his administration is ready to work with relevant stakeholders towards a future where no Nigerian child is excluded from quality education. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Need for alternative solutions in their educational pursuits.
Another big day for the African continent as the quest for gender mainstreaming and inclusive development hits a major milestone with the launch of the We Are Equal campaign in Nigeria. The campaign is a project of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, OAFLAD, aimed at driving gender mainstreaming and women empowerment. In the spirit of sisterhood, First Ladies from member countries of OAFLAD joined Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, who is leading the campaign in the country.
Yes, we are equal.
Launching the hashtag We Are Equal campaign in Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu applauded African First Ladies for being true mothers of the continent and staying the course in their efforts to close gender gaps.
I see you leading, believing, and working hard. We will follow. Let us carry forward this campaign, which promises to give an educated girl child the potential to bring the necessary change in African community for the better.
The vision of Nigeria's First Lady, which saw the establishment of the alternative high school for girls, is expected to be the anchor of the program.
Motivation for the establishment of this school as an educationist and lifelong teacher stems from the desire to see young girls and women who dropped out of school due to several challenges, including early pregnancies, cultural barriers, financial reasons, and many more, have a second chance to complete high school, acquire higher education, and valuable life skills to enable them reach full potential in life.
The focus of the campaign and its expected role in building a future where gender equity will be a reality drew the applause of other First Ladies. Appreciation and further pledge of commitment to the campaign came from Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, and development partners. In the State House, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
And speaking of milestones, the 10th Senate will continue to give special attention to medical research and upgrade of health facilities across the country as a matter of national priority. This is contained in a message from the President of the Senate to a public hearing on the Federal University of Health Sciences and Technologies, IFE, Zamfara State. Establishment Bill Ignatius Nkwo reports.
The public hearing is convened by the Senate Joint Committee on Health. Representing the President of the Senate, Senator Tony Nwoye, and the Chairman of the Committee on Health, Secondary and Tertiary, Ipalibo Harry Banigo, made it clear that issues of health is a top priority for the 10th Senate.
We will address the seeming migration of healthcare professionals, meaning Japa syndrome, by training new, younger ones.
To strengthen institutional capacity for disease control and surveillance.
The bill seeks to upgrade the College of Health Sciences and Technology, SAFE, Zamfara State, to a federal university. The sponsor of the bill and other participants are convinced that when upgraded, it will strengthen institutional capacity for disease control in the Northwest region.
This college will provide full-time courses in health sciences and technology and other fields of studies.
On behalf of the Zamfara State Government, I express our unwavering commitment to facilitating the immediate and successful establishment of the university.
Grading this institution to federal university is well deserved and recommended.
The Ministry of Education and Health gave their perspectives.
In these areas of insecurity, the ministry's perspective is that establishing another institution in such an area may actually present some further challenges.
The issue of manpower in order to train those that we are expecting from this institution, the issue of funding, these are areas where ministry is really concerned.
The massive attendance, especially from Zamfara State, amplifies the need for this health institution. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, 4,200 small-scale farmers have benefited from President Tinubu's agricultural support project under the Northeast Development Commission in Bauchi State. The exercise, which is expected to cut across the 6 northeastern states affected by insurgency, was conducted under the supervision of the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Political and Intergovernmental Affairs, Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Rice and maize seeds, liquid and solid fertilizers, pesticides, and water pump machines were part of the agricultural inputs distributed to the farmers. The exercise, which was conducted through the Tinubu support group of Lobito, is a free donation towards achieving the President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda.
We are rural farmers that stay in the rural area, and as you can see, the rainy season is just quite approaching, and then these the seedlings, the pesticide and the fertilizer come at the right time.
We really appreciate because they help us at the right time.
Representatives of both rainy and dry seasons farmers groups, local governments ambassadors, and the overseers of all APC political party wards in Bauchi State are the beneficiaries of the gesture.
It's not loan. They are not returning anything. This is just to empower them, to give them, to encourage them to go back to their farms.
The exercise also aimed at ensuring an adequate food security for the region and the country at large.
The beneficiaries, not to sell the items given to them, but to go and use it for the purpose they were given.
The beneficiaries were advised to ensure proper utilization of the inputs for the realization of the food security target. In Bauchi, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
And now to cancer care. The federal government has pledged to collaborate with scientific organizations to improve cancer diagnosis and treatment in the country. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, made this known at the coordinating meeting of the International Atomic Energy Agency to sensitize African countries on new trends in cancer care. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye was there for NTA News.
They are from more than 40 African countries deliberating on effective management of cancer. The International Atomic Energy Agency, through its RAF 6060 project, ruled out negative statistics that leaves Africa lagging behind in cancer treatment.
About 75% of the populations in Africa have no access to diagnosis and treatment of cancer. And this is unacceptable. And we know that 20 countries in Africa, as we stand today, do not have a single radiotherapy center.
The Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare says its policies and programs align with the vision of International Atomic Energy Agency.
I'm proud to affirm the unwavering commitment of the Nigerian government to tackle the rising threat of cancer within our borders. We recognize the critical needs for strategic partnership with international organizations.
The Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority is a regulatory body that is established to ensure radiation safety, nuclear safety, and also regulate the use of ionizing radiation in Nigeria. And over the years, we have tried our best to work together with stakeholders and other African countries.
The organizers and participants unanimously agree that enhancing capacity of personnel actively involved in cancer treatment must be a priority. Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, we're talking political matters now. And ahead of the Edo and Ondo governorship elections, INEC has announced the date for resumption of continuous voter registration exercise in both states. Mayor Ogidi reports on this and other issues as INEC meets political parties in Abuja.
The twin brothers by name, Edo and Ondo states, on the political news again, as they set to renew the leadership, September and November respectively, and INEC meeting leaders of the political parties on series of issues. First, no voter will be deprived of participating.
As the elections in the two states approach, the Commission has decided to resume the continuous voter registration from Monday, 27th May 2024 to Wednesday, 5th June 2024, from 9 in the morning to 3 p.m. daily, including the weekend. There will be no online pre-registration option in the two states because of time constraint. Again, we encourage those who have not collected their PVCs in the two states to seize the opportunity to do so.
As the voters prepare for the polls, another reminder from INEC.
Let me therefore seize this opportunity to once again reiterate to party leaders the need to continue to maintain law and order during the electioneering process and beyond.
Just a quick one on two issues. First, the electoral violence that led to the suspension of by-elections in Kano and Enugu states sorted out, and a new date for the conclusion will be soon announced, INEC chairman confirmed. And also, INEC has received notification on the conduct of 4 by-elections, though no date yet. Mie Ogede, NTA News.
Now to maritime security. The Nigerian Navy is appealing to the judiciary to expedite cases involving arrested marine vessels. The appeal was made when Naval Director of Information, Commodore Iwuyo Adams Aliu, called on the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos. It is a visit with triple purpose. Introducing the Naval Director of Information, who is barely 3 months in office, promoting media relations, and emphasizing the need for swift justice in cases involving arrested vessels.
The area where we have challenges with maritime crime in Nigeria is in law enforcement. The judiciary are doing their best. However, there is always a lag. There is a delay in bringing arrested vessels to justice or for acquittal. And what that does to us as a Navy is when we arrest a vessel, vessels are big, take over the day-to-day running of that vessel.
The Navy's appeal is predicated on the fact that prolonged legal proceedings often hinder the effective prosecution of maritime crimes. By expediting these cases, the judiciary can help the Navy achieve its objectives more efficiently, says Commodore Aliu. The Director General Abdulhamid Dembos agrees and gives assurance that as the nation's foremost and authoritative medium, the message will reach the right quarters to make a positive impact.
For us in the media, and NTA in particular, we will do our best to bring to the fore some of these challenges, especially this judicial process, how much it will cost the service, to sustain the equipment that are under your custody.
Enhancing maritime security in the nation's waters and on land, where the Nigerian Navy is mandated to protect pipelines and other crude oil assets. The Navy says, when sailors' tales turn to legal yarns, justice must set sail swiftly. Still on security, to win the war against banditry, retired military officers are urging the federal government to tap from their wealth of experience to complement efforts of security agencies. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this was at a meeting of retired military officers in Abuja. As older persons who have served the nation in different capacities, protecting the territorial integrity of the nation, the officers say they are not relenting in ensuring that Nigeria remains safe, peaceful.
That are versatile, people who are clued up, lieutenant to general. These people individually, there's every possibility that they have ideas for the nation. Good ideas. However, when they come together, some of these ideas can be channeled, structured for the benefit of the nation itself. So that is one of the important functions.
The engagement, comprising retired military officers in the Army, Navy and Air Force, is also organized to help the association come up with activities to foster togetherness and address the needs of retired officers. They're retired, but not tired indeed. Now, the FCT Police Command again has recorded another breakthrough in the fight against crime and criminality with the arrest of some One Chance and Carjacking members of One Chance and Carjacking syndicates. The Commissioner of Police, Bennett Igwe, who paraded the suspects, said it was through credible intelligence from residents, Onotu Yakubu reports.
14 suspects, 3 syndicates and 5 cases. Anthony Chibuzo and Jonas Chikwe are friends based in Lagos. The two have been in the command's wanted list as part of a notorious suspected car theft syndicate terrorizing the FCT. Operatives of the Apo Legislative Quarters Division trailed them to Lagos State and arrested the two with some of the stolen vehicles.
The Toyota Camry there has the chassis number there now is a fake one. It has gone through 4 transformations of 4 chassis numbers. How they do it, we don't know.
They said that they will send something, that they will send car to me, that I will keep it for them. Whenever they come, they will use the car.
Esther Peter, a mother of 1 from Benue and residing in Nasarawa, belongs to a One Chance syndicate.
I don't know, say now One Chance. I can't live there since last year. Now one person go drop. They will carry another one person go drop.
These 5 groups are the group of One Chance people that used to come from Nasarawa State. They are robbers, including the woman you see there. We are still working on them.
CP Bennett Igwe reassured that the command will continue to prevent crime in all of its form to ensure safety. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Equipping Federal Road Safety Corps paramedics and patrol operatives is pivotal to reducing mortality arising from road crashes, say key players. And this is why a training of FRSC paramedics and patrol operatives is ongoing in Ibadan.
The training involves prompt response and proper handling at crash scenes, as well as management techniques in resuscitation of victims. The resource persons urged the participants to be fully alert and in control of the situation while on duty, adding that road safety officials should key into the federal government's zero tolerance to high mortality rates as a result of road traffic crashes in Nigeria.
We want the people to be rescued properly, the way it's done worldwide, done by paramedics.
Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Ali Bill, represented, explained that the training of the paramedics and patrol operatives will go a long way to ensure that loss of lives of victims of road crashes is brought down to the barest minimum.
They use equipment that are modern to see where crash victims are trapped in an accidental vehicle, to professionally and quickly remove them without further harm.
This training given to the paramedics and patrol operatives, in fact, they are the most closest to these victims, because each time there are crashes on the road, we expect paramedics. That's how you have.
The capacity building training for paramedics and patrol operatives has about 80 personnel of the FRSC drawn from across southwest Nigeria in attendance.
That training covers the southwest region, where we're about to join Michael, who is standing by in Lagos with more reports. Michael.
Depositors funds need strong regulation to build confidence of depositors in banks and other financial institutions through adjudication of disputes. This was the focus of a sensitization seminar for justices of the Court of Appeal organized by the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation for year 2024. Adiola Komiakiri completes the report.
Adjudication and timely determination of disputes bordering on financial system stability is crucial to the banking sector, and the judiciary being faced with complex legal issues pertaining to securing depositor funds in failed or failing banks needs to have proper understanding of the concept and practice of deposit insurance in order to ensure a safe and sound financial system in the country. The President of a Court of Appeal represented urged the participants to have a firm grasp of topics treated.
When banks are sick or failing, it is a problem. And when there is problem, everybody runs to the judiciary.
The collaboration between the National Judicial Institute, Court of Appeal, and the NDIC is a deliberate union to improve the nation's financial standing.
There are commercial and economic matters which cannot be taken for granted. We need to quickly treat it so that investors will continue to have confidence in the Nigerian economy.
Bello Hassan, Managing Director, Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, said the seminar will enable the judiciary appreciate the legal issues involved in determining financial cases expeditiously.
We therefore sincerely believe that your pronouncement on these issues will invariably set judicial precedents, thereby contributing to the development of the bank insolvency law and practice in Nigeria, which is evolving area of legal jurisprudence.
Effective adjudication of appellate practice in failed bank proceedings, practice and procedure in enforcement of judgment were some of the topics treated at the seminar. 39 justices of the Court of Appeal attended the sensitization seminar. In Lagos, Adeola Komeakere, NTA News.
Removing impediments to the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, CVFF, will not only stimulate the activation of local capacity in fleet expansion and ship repairs, but will stop the annual loss of $1 trillion to its non-implementation. These and other major issues were at the front burner as maritime stakeholders brainstorm on realigning the maritime sector for growth. Correspondent reports that the Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, says the National Ship Registry will be automated. Knowing fully well that the maritime sector and the blue economy by extension has the potential of transforming the country positively, the expectation from key players here is high. And as a starting point to meeting the high hopes, this gathering believes putting in place a credible and efficient ship register, having cargoes for readily available ships, and most importantly, disbursing the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, CVFF, will show a glimpse of achieving set goals. This renowned maritime lawyer says developing standard and application of technology will drive accountability in meeting the huge demand.
NIMASA not only has the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, it also has the Maritime Fund. For the life of me, I've never heard anybody asking about the Maritime Fund. Yet the Maritime Fund, by my estimation, even though it may be wrong, will inherit much more funds than the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund.
Other stakeholders called for inter-agency collaboration and the need to be well-equipped to tap from the new window of opportunities available for operators.
If there is proper standardization, there will be a lot of opening for capital influx, and which is what is required for shipping, because you cannot be able to invest in shipping if there is no capital.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency promised to rigorously pursue innovations that will speed up the growth of the industry.
Some of the things that we have in mind has been said here. Example is the automation of the ship registry, and I can assure you it will happen very, very quickly.
The consensus going forward is that implementing crucial recommendations will unlock the growth emphasized in the sector. Those are the reports from...
You're still watching NTA Network News. Let's bring you up to speed with business development. The declining fortunes of the Naira continue Monday, with the currency settling at 1,515 Naira to a dollar in the parallel market. The Naira shed 2.97% when compared to the exchange rate of 1,470 on Friday. This is happening despite Nigeria's external reserves increasing marginally by 0.4% week on week to a 4-week high of $32.4 billion as of May 2024. OpenAI on Monday launched a new AI model and desktop version of ChatGPT, along with an updated user interface. The company's latest effort to expand use of its popular chatbot. The CNBC reports that the update brings GPT-4 to everyone, including OpenAI's free users technology chief Mira Murati said in a live stream event. She added that the new model, GPT-40, is much faster with improved capabilities in text, video, and audio. OpenAI said it eventually plans to allow users to video chat with ChatGPT. The equities market began the first weekday of trade in negative territory as investors lose 296.8 billion naira. The all-share index declined to 97,708.74 basis points. At the end of Monday's session, a total of 439 million shares in 8,607 deals corresponding to a market value of 11.3 billion naira were traded. Market capitalization declined to 55.3 trillion naira. The initiates led the gainers with 8.7% share price appreciation, closing at 2 naira 50 kobo per share, followed by Tantalizers, Sterling Bank, and Ikeja Hotel. Now that's the quick look at business news. Najatu, it's back to you.
Thank you, Musa. We're starting with news of disaster as many residents of Wuruhampati, a suburb in Gombe town, have been rendered homeless following a windstorm and heavy downpour. No life was lost, but the community is counting property losses worth millions of naira. Abazmi Kanu reports.
According to one of the victims, Muhammad Abubakar Guda, 3 bedrooms out of 4 in the house were completely destroyed by the downpour that occurred on Monday evening. This compelled him and other members of his family to relocate to a temporary shelter in his relative's house in Gombe town.
Saboda kuna fatan gwamnati ta taimaka mana ta sa mu cikin lamarinta ta duba mana ta taimaka mana a takaice insha Allah muna roƙon gwamnati ta yi mana agaji.
This is the case of over 100 other households residing in Wuruhampati who are now taking shelter in different locations within Gombe metropolis. The rainstorm is the first major rainfall recorded in Gombe and environs this year. We never experienced such magnitude of disaster in this village. After I returned to sitting room, leaving them inside, I suddenly saw their mother rushing towards me, and the room became an open space after one of the walls collapsed and the roofing sheets blown off. No life was lost as a result of the unfortunate incident. However, many victims sustained various degrees of injuries, including the case of snake bite suffered by one of the victims, Muhammad Adamu, while packing the remains of his house.
Thank you, Abbas Mekano, for that report. Do stay tuned for more after this time out. Governor Umar Namadi has promised to support the Jama'atu Izalatul Bid'ah wa Iqamatus Sunnah Jibwis national body in the ongoing construction of its university in Hadeja local government area of Jigawa State. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
The Jibwis national delegation led by its National Secretary Sheikh Muhammad Kabiru Haruna Gombe says the establishment of the university in Jigawa was not a coincidence but a deliberate action to support the efforts of the Jigawa State in transforming the education sector by providing unhindered access to tertiary education to the public in the state, describing the governor as a sincere, upright and courageous leader who puts his people first before any other thing, Sheikh Kabiru Gombe notes that Jigawa will prosper under his leadership, God willing. The Jipwi's National Secretary condoles the governor over the death of his father-in-law and prays for the repose of the dead.
The university attained a certain level where we are expecting the NUC to come in order to supervise the university so that they can give us license for the university to take off. And there is part of the requirements of NUC, there must be access road in the university. And as we all know, constructing access road is not an easy. It is something that individual cannot do it. That is why we appeal to the governor in order to rescue the situation.
Governor Umar Namadi thanks the religious delegation for the condolence and right away orders the State Commissioner for Works to visit the university site to see where and how the roads should be built. The National Secretary was accompanied to the government house by scholars from across the northern region. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
European Union countries give final approval on Monday to a law to cut carbon dioxide emissions from trucks, requiring most new heavy-duty vehicles sold in the EU from 2040 to be emission-free. Details on Global Update with Comfort Faseun.
The law will enforce a 90% cut in CO2 emissions from new heavy-duty vehicles by 2040, which means that manufacturers will have to sell a large share of fully CO2-free trucks, including electric vehicles and those running on hydrogen fuel, to offset any remaining sales of new CO2-emitting vehicles in 2040. Trucks manufacturers will also have to reduce the CO2 emissions of their fleet by 45% by 2030, replacing an existing 30% target and 65% by 2035. In other news, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Wang Wenbin has welcomed the United Nations General Assembly's resolution to urge the Security Council to reconsider Palestine's bid for full membership at the world body. He urged relevant countries not to continue to stand on the opposite side. 143 states voted in favor of the resolution, while 9 voted against it and 25 countries abstained. And rescue workers are still searching for missing people after flash floods and cold lava flow from a volcano in western Indonesia. The death toll from the flash flood has risen to 44, with 15 people missing. Comfort Fashion, NTA News.
Thank you, Comfort Fashion. Now, Nigeria Football Federation announces Daniel Amokachi, Chima Onyeke, Benjamin James and Olatunji Barua as assistant coaches to Super Eagles head coach Finidi George. Details with Austin Edemodu.
The Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, wants Nigerians to give maximum support to the newly appointed coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, Finidi George, for him to succeed on his new assignment. The minister stated this while unveiling the new Super Eagles coach at the media center at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja.
I'm glad at the level of calmness that greeted the appointment of Finidi George. When you take a good decision, you find the reaction very calm.
Once we give you a responsibility, and you know you are doing it for Nigeria and Nigerians, so we don't interfere in what you are going to do. We take an oath, and you make a promise that you are going to do it to the best of your ability, and you are going to give us the best for Nigeria.
Meanwhile, the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Finidi George, says he hopes to meet the expectations of Nigerians by running a result-oriented program that will bring glory to the national team by infusing local players to the pool of current Eagles squad where necessary. This follows his official unveiling as the new manager of the national team in Abuja.
We just have to focus on areas I think they can help us, you can't overhaul a team that came out second in the last AFCON.
Following the unveiling of Finidi George as the head coach of the Super Eagles, Nigerians are optimistic that the former Super Eagles winger will bring his wealth of experience to bear in moving the team forward.
He's got an experience with the team. The players love him. You understand where the lapses are. And for him, this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
And I believe as well that once again, MPFL players can have a pride of place in the Super Eagles, not to be used maybe as training materials or camp material.
With Sports Update, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
The families of Oji in Ihitenansa, Osu local government area, and Abadwa in Yishi, Keduru local government area in Imo State announced the passing of their sister, wife, mother, and auntie, Justice Teresa Nkolika Oji Abadwa, aged 65. Until her demise, she was the presiding justice of the Court of Appeal, Benin Division. Burial arrangement signed by Dr. Gabriel Oji for the families indicates that a day of tribute and book presentation in honor of late Justice Oji Abadwa will be on Wednesday, 15th May 2024 at the Kelani Event Center in New Owerri at 2 p.m. Interment and condolences follow after a burial mass on Thursday, 16th May 2024. The late Justice is survived by her husband, 4 children, and Florence Oji, retired Assistant Director News, NTA. On that note, we conclude the network news on NTA. Thanks for being a part of the bulletin.